here. We're excited to be able to provide this information to you guys. One of the things that I do want to mention before we get started is to please be sure that you place yourselves on mute. I believe that we have some control over that, but if you do hear some background and it's coming from you, please just make sure you put yourself on mute so we can make sure that we hear everything that our presenters are going to be sharing with us today. And with that, I want to go ahead and introduce you all to, well, actually, I'm going to allow her to introduce herself here in a minute. But Robert Half, a staffing agency out here in our area, is presenting to us today, and they're going to be sharing employment opportunities with us, what it is that we can do to assist our veterans in getting connected to those employment opportunities and a little bit more. So with that, Vanessa, good morning. Could you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what it is that you do?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Vanessa Martinez, and I am a specialized recruiter for administrative positions here in the Bay Area for Robert Half, and it's nice to be here with you all.
Awesome. What's the best thing about your job, Vanessa?
So working with Robert Half office team, we have a very dynamic team and a lot of different offices in the Bay Area. So we do have a lot of recruiters, where we get together. We talk all the time, collaborate very much with each other. So that's a really great thing that part of my job. But I would say right now, through the pandemic, one of the most important things that we've seen is being able to find positions for people who are, in difficult times right now. So that's a very rewarding part of my job.
Awesome. So what's it like to work at your company? The culture, the people, the challenges that it offers?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, we have a very collaborative environment. We have currently 7 lines of business. We sit out of the San Jose office, but I cover the Palo Alto territory. So within the office, we have Robert Half Tech, legal, office team accountants. So we have a lot of people in the office. When we're open, right now we're all remote, but it's just nice to be able to give people options of different jobs and different industries to choose from. And I would say one of the biggest challenges, because we're such a large team, is sometimes we have to compete for candidates when the market is tight because, we have so many opportunities out there, but candidates are more difficult to find. So it's not a good thing for clients, but it's a good thing for candidates because there's a lot of jobs to choose from.
And speaking of jobs, what employment opportunities are you guys hiring for now?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to share this screen really quickly. So essentially, when candidates are looking for jobs, we always refer them to our Robert Half website. So I'm going to share this really quickly. And again, it's very easy to find job opportunities by going to roberthalf.com. And I can actually show you how to get there. So this is our main website. When looking for opportunities, all you have to do, depending on what area you're from, let's say you're looking for customer service positions, administrative, so on and so forth. But right now, if I just put administrative, just because it's more, general, and then I can put maybe Palo Alto. But you can always change this according to your city. And then so we post all of our open opportunities through our website. So you can always do this. We also have a Robert Half mobile app where if you set up a profile, it'll also recommend jobs for you. And you can always just apply to whatever you feel is a better fit for you. And so just with Palo Alto alone, we have all of these opportunities. We always put the title, administrative assistant, the location, if it's temporary, temp to hire, or remote. We also have remote opportunities available. And then there's always a pay scale, depending on experience. So every job pays different, depending on what client it's for. Usually for temp to hire opportunities, we'll also place or add the salary that this company's willing to offer, so that you can know, if it's a good position for you and if it aligns well with your expectations. And I'm going to share everything that I share today. I can do a follow-up email with all of the links, so that you guys can also go here and make sure you find the right position to apply for. So these are all of them. Mm-hmm.
Nice. That'd be great. Okay. So with that, what advice would you give to our veterans when applying for your company or with your company?
Yeah. So So essentially with veterans applying to job opportunities, typically what I always suggest is to rewrite your resume to ensure that it's that you're highlighting your skill sets, what transferable skills from your military experience go into the current jobs that are being offered. Also, any continuing your education, if there's maybe a program or a certificate or something that you guys can continue to really polish your skill sets on, that's another one. And just knowing what career path you want to take, or knowing exactly what you want before applying to opportunities. That way, it's more geared towards your ultimate goals. So definitely considering all of those things. And we also provide a lot of resources to veterans that, again, I'm going to share throughout the presentation, to ensure that you know exactly what to add to your resume, or what certain job search tips we can provide as well as an agency to you.
That's perfect advice. I think a lot of what we teach is to target the resume specifically for the job.
Yeah, definitely.
Reinforcing that. So your next question, what makes Robert Half different from any other staffing agency?
So with Robert Half, we're the largest staffing agency in the world. We are an international company. We've been matching candidates to companies for over 70 years. So we started in 1948, and we have more than 200 staffing locations worldwide. So definitely a lot of resources. We're also a leader in professional consulting and staffing services. So I would say that, with all of those things, and we can just provide a lot more help. We've been working with clients for a very long time, specifically locally, right? We have clients that we've been working with for over 10 years. So they definitely trust our service. They trust our process. So a lot of the times candidates don't even have to interview. We call references, and we can provide those references. We can provide Word and Excel assessments to just shorten that process, because our ultimate goal is finding jobs for people and not so much, lengthening that for whatever reason. That's our ultimate goal. So we work at a very fast pace.
Okay. And how does someone sign up for Robert Half so that they can go ahead and start working with you guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did mention the Robert Half mobile app. That's our newest tool. It just makes it very easy to navigate through by uploading your resume, filling in your pay expectation, travel expectations, what jobs you'd be interested in. So that's a very easy way to start signing up. Or you can also just go to our website, roberthalf.com. Again, upload your resume and start filling out a profile so that we can start reaching out to you. Another thing you can do is just calling the office directly. If you just want to get in touch with a recruiter, just give us a call. Let us know what location you're looking to work within, and then we'll reroute you to the right office. Like I mentioned, there's 12 offices in the Bay Area, so you can just give us a call, and that's probably the fastest way to do it. And after that, you would probably have to email your resume to the recruiter that is assigned to you. But yeah, we make everything pretty seamless, depending on what route you prefer. But there's different avenues.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. That's actually a perfect segue. Where does Robert Half operate?
Sure. So I can actually show you the map. Of locations that we operate in. And it's also in our website. So if it makes it easier, I just went to roberthalf.com. I searched by locations, so up here. And I just selected San Francisco Bay Area, California. So it gives you a map of all of the offices that we have in the area. I currently sit out of Palo Alto, but we have an office in Santa Clara, which is merged with San Jose, but we have specialized recruiters just for Santa Clara, Sunnyvale, Cupertino. We have San Jose, Fremont, Oakland, San Francisco, so all throughout the Bay Area, San Mateo. And if you zoom out, it'll just give you more offices for you to choose from. But yeah, so there's about 12 different offices in the Bay alone. And we're also international. So another thing that we've been able to do with candidates, let's say they move to another location, we also can connect them to a recruiter that is now in their current location. So if someone moves to Colorado, we ask for the city, we find the closest branch, and then we make that introduction via email. And let's say if you guys have done an assignment for us out here in the Bay Area and you did an excellent job for us, we also write you a letter of recommendation for the new branch so that you can find employment right away.
So what's some examples of your guys' offices, let's say in the Central Valley region as well as the Central?
Yeah, so right now we have an office in Bakersfield. We have another one in Modesto, Sacramento as well. All over the place. And there's a specific location where maybe you don't see it on the map because this is new with when COVID started, we did merge a lot of our offices together just for a real estate perspective because we're not working on site. So you might not see all of them now in 2021. But again, if you guys have any questions regarding a specific city that that you're guys looking for employment in, I can always just reroute you to the right area. But yeah, for the most part, every couple of cities there's going to be a Robert Half location.
Awesome, thank you for that. We weren't aware that you guys had to shut down some of the offices. That's why we couldn't find any in some regions. So that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, especially in like Bakersfield area, because it's so spaced out. A lot of the times, let's say Bakersfield is maybe connected with another, is out of the same branch from another couple of cities, but it's just we try to represent areas and keep jobs within candidates that live within that zip code, for example, just to make sure that you don't commute too far off. We try to find local job opportunities for candidates. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Definitely.
So what types of benefits can crew members expect to receive when they're working with Robert Half?
So we do offer a lot of benefits to our candidates after they're placed on an assignment. I think those benefits go into effect after your first paycheck. So 7 days out. We do pay on a weekly basis so that candidates have access to their money a lot faster. After the 7 days, they can sign up for medical, dental, vision, and 401k benefits. You don't have to sign up for them if you don't need them. It's just an option for some candidates. I know if maybe if their spouse has better benefits for their opportunities for their current job, maybe they don't need them, but they're there for candidates to take advantage of. They also accumulate sick hours, which are accrued over time as well. So you can use those at any time. Holiday hours are also, or holiday pay is also something that candidates will need to accrue for as they're on the assignment. But it is something that we offer as well. Another thing we offer are mock interviews. So if it's been a while since candidates have had an interview, we do like to set up time on our calendar for one-on-one mock interviews to make sure that they are well prepared and set up for success.
And do you guys conduct any background investigations?
We do run background checks on candidates. Let me check here. So it depends on the industry as well. Some of our clients require it, others don't, but it all depends on the industry. Typically for municipalities, for clients within the education sector, those are always a must that needs to be processed. But I would mention usually, with veterans, they have a reputable background. So mentioning your security clearance levels to show civilian employers that you pass a stringent background check is always something that we like to suggest veterans to mention. And that is something that we typically run, but not for every client. It's more of a need to basis.
Okay, thank you.
I noticed that I'm on two cameras here on my office. I'll probably mute one of them.
It seems like you're on mute now.
Okay. So you're talking about the backgrounds. It's done on a job basis, not on every single basis, right?
You cut out a little bit, but if I heard correctly, yeah, it's only for some clients that require it. Not every single client is going to require it, especially because we have positions that are, let's say, a week long position. So by the time the background check clears, which is about 1 to 2 weeks, that position needs to be filled. So usually the background checks are typically for longer opportunities, let's say for a month and more than a month. So that's when the clients typically run it. Or if the candidates are going to be handling sensitive information, for example, legal documents or invoices where there's client information in there. Sorry. Yeah, so that's typically when we do it, is depending on the work that the candidates are needed to do.
Awesome. Thanks for that question. Okay, so now I have another question for you, Vanessa. Can you tell us a little bit about the skill sets that it would be a good idea for our veterans to highlight or mention in their resumes that they're bringing in for you to take a look at?
Of course. There's 4 skill sets that really stand out when working with veterans. So one of them is determination. During your years of service, you learn that giving up is never an option. So emphasizing your steadfast determination and backing up this claim with examples from your military career shows hiring managers that you'll do whatever it takes to see a task through the end. And the bottom line is that employers want to work with a can-do attitude, focus, and commitment to following through on every challenge. We've seen that sometimes clients care more about the attitude, the personality, the willingness to do the job versus the skill set, because it's harder to maybe train someone who doesn't have, the right mentality or the right willingness to do something. So just having that can-do attitude has been something that we've seen great success with. Number 2 is leadership. In the military, you were taught to be proactive and take charge when necessary. And these attributes are highly sought after by employers in the civilian workforce. In fact, many companies send employees to leadership seminars that sometimes are led by military veterans. So be sure to let potential employers know that you will apply those leadership skills in the workplace, not only voicing your ideas and opinions constructively, but also helping to guide your coworkers to success when needed. Number 3 is teamwork. Keeping team morale and motivation high is crucial to achieving maximum efficiency in the military. These things also matter in today's civilian workforce, which is highly collaborative. So when you're applying for a job, take care to emphasize you understanding of the value of the teamwork. Savvy hiring managers will recognize that you have the potential to enhance their organization's performance and work environment because you know how to be a team player. And the last one is adaptability. It's a very important one because just one reason that many employees or employers like to hire veterans is because they are so adaptable. So throughout your military career, you no doubt had to adjust to situations that changed with little to no notice, and that required you to be resilient. Those experiences have helped you to become adept at thinking on your feet and making decisions quickly. And while employees without a background like yours might take a while to process change and adjust accordingly, you can keep work moving forward rapidly, analyzing the situation and finding an effective solution. So just to summarize everything, you can definitely help the company to remain productive in any circumstances.
And what are some job search tips for veterans who might be looking for work?
Yeah, so one of the things that I mentioned at the beginning was having all of the resources. So I do want to share a resource from our Robert Half website. And I can pull that up now. Okay. I'm going to share my screen for this. Okay. So this is our veterans job search. We have our just generic job search for all candidates, but this one is more catered to the veteran job search. And again, I'll send a link for this for you guys to look at. But these are all, depending on what your background has been, these are all positions that could be very relevant and again have transferable skills for that employers might be seeking. And again, you can just filter through all of these side notes to make sure that you're looking for the right opportunity that might be good for you to consider. And then you can just enter your job title, your military job title, do keywords so that it's more catered to, again, to what you might be mostly interested in. And there's also a blog. There's a lot of things on this specific topic. So a lot of information that you guys can maybe read on at your own time, but definitely tips about how to interview, tips about how to land a job, career development, and so on and so forth. So these are all really good blogs to go through. And you can also subscribe to the newsletter if you want to just continue reading and staying on top of market trends. Yeah, so now that I mentioned that, again, it's important to match the skills, including technical skills, especially in the Bay Area. We do see that being very important. So if there's, again, continuing your education with any technical skills that you guys might feel like it's relevant. We also offer, as soon as you sign up with Robert Half, we do offer something called Skillport training. So it gives you access to about 8,000 different training modules that you guys can access. I believe it's for 90 days that you have the free access for. So if you want to maybe polish your skills with Excel, with Microsoft Office, any technical skills that you think might be relevant, you can always go onto the Skillport and then sign up for free. So it's also another great tool that we offer. And there's also other websites as well, not just through Robert Half, but there's military.com. There's a website called Career One Stop from the U.S. Department of Labor. Of course, we have the Department of Veterans Affairs site. So there's definitely a lot of tools that could be useful for you when creating your resume and determining what jobs you are most qualified for.
Great, thank you for that. And then a question for you, our last question. How can an employer or a business embrace into their work environment? Do you have any suggestions?
Of course. So let it be known that your organization is one that supports military hiring. You can go to military career fairs, sponsor events, post on the military job boards. This will give all military personnel the assurance that they are interviewing or joining an organization where they can seamlessly transition into. And most importantly, setting up monitoring programs to help military veterans transition to your company culture. If you have a formal military personnel already working within your organization, use them to set up mentoring programs and trainings so that you are providing the necessary support and resources for your new hires.
Awesome, thank you for that. And from there, we're going to open it up to questions. If you guys have any questions, we can answer for y'all.
So I have one question that came up on the chat box. Do you have options for veterans who want to work remotely?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time, Yanni?
Sorry about that. I have a question from the chat box. Do you have options for veterans who want to work remotely?
We do. Within our job search on RobertHalf.com, the job search function, a lot of those positions, they will say either temp to hire, remote. If you don't see a city attached to that specific job, that's because it's remote, and it'll have the word remote on there in big caps. It's something that we've been doing more and more of, especially through the pandemic. And usually when that happens is we get clients, letting us know about their needs, and we just do a search on the entire North Bay Area, including Bakersfield, Modesto, all the way up to San Francisco and Oakland, because commute won't be an issue. But we do have remote opportunities. We have multiple options. So we either have the candidate use their own computer if they have one, but we install Amazon Workspace to keep their information secure as well as the clients. Or if they need a work computer, we can also ship out a laptop with everything already installed, every software, Microsoft Office, Google Suite, everything that the client might need to use. And we currently have about 2,000 computers or laptops that are ready to be shipped out. We've shipped out about 1,000 within the year 2020 to candidates. So we definitely have computers available still.
And there's another question in the chat box. Thank you for the answer. John Silva, if you don't mind, you can, if you'd like, you can actually ask that if you like.
Yeah, I was actually asking as far as I work for a nonprofit group. I work for Job Train in the Bay Area, and we just recently expanded to all of Santa Clara County. So now we're from East Palo Alto, Menlo Park, and we're now in one of the largest counties around in Santa Clara County. Mm-hmm. And we just started working with rapid rehousing individuals. So these are individuals that were formerly homeless, and now they're finally in a place. They're in their own apartments and they're renting, and a lot of them are vets. And just getting them connected with you have you encountered that where you deal with these kind of issues or?
Yeah, great question. We actually work with a company in the Palo Alto territory called Life Moves. Very similar, right, to your current organization, where they help people kind of get back on their feet after something bad happens in their life. But we work with a lot of nonprofits in the area, especially I feel like in when the pandemic started, most of the jobs that we've been getting have been within housing, property management companies. They're the ones that have been kind of steadily growing, and because of people have been struggling with with housing and paying rent and so on and so forth. So we do work with a lot of nonprofits within the property management industry and housing. And definitely we always want to make sure that we help as many people as possible. So we do volunteer even with Robert Half with Life Moves. We volunteer building quilts or food drives, a lot of different things. So we definitely like to partner with nonprofits a lot.
Yeah, Life Moves, one of our partners, actually originated from Life Moves years ago. So that's good to know, because like I said, I'm sorry to introduce myself. My name is John Silva, and I am the employment specialist for all of Santa Clara County. So yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And we'd love to partner with you, John. So any opportunities that open, and we'd love to share with you as well.
Oh, wonderful. I'm excited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, John. I have a question. When you were talking about benefits, do those benefits transfer over if a veteran or a candidate was a temp to hire? Do those benefits transfer over to their permanent position?
Yes, definitely. So the benefits that we offer, because I only do temporary or temp to hire. We also have another division that does direct hire, but those benefits are directly with the client because it's a direct hire position. While you work for Robert Half and you have our temporary benefits, as soon as you get hired permanently with any client, payroll, benefits, everything gets transferred to that client. And we already have contracts in place with clients. So if that is the case where, let's say a candidate's been working out a specific company for about 3 months, and the client says, okay, we're ready to move forward with this candidate on a permanent basis, we do all of the negotiating for the candidate. We have really great negotiators within our company so that we can get really good benefits for the candidate, a pay increase, because they've been proving themselves for the 3 months. So we do all the negotiating. Some candidates feel more comfortable doing it themselves, and that's totally fine. It's just something that we offer as well, is with the negotiating processes, benefits, pay increases, salaries, and all of that.
And does that still apply for temporary employees? So when they earn benefits, is that benefits earned within Robert Half? Okay, and then it transfers over to if they got a new temporary job, right?
Yeah, only if they get converted into a permanent employee. But we've offered benefits to our candidates. I believe in some instances, even if the candidate is only working part-time, they also qualify for benefits. And I think that's one of the things that has really helped a lot of our candidates, is because when they find jobs on their own, if they don't reach the 32-hour minimum, they don't qualify for benefits. So it's something that we do offer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I have a question. My name is Shelby. I'm a social worker with the VA. So a lot of the veterans I work with who are staying at the shelter or in our shelter program, they have recently been released from incarceration, who may have been incarcerated for the last several years. We have a lot of difficulty finding employment because of that, and they might be on parole or probation, criminal record. Do you have any guidance on how they can get their foot back in the door? Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, so with background checks, I know there's about 3 things that we cannot work with, unfortunately. That's when there's 2 DUIs involved, if there's been theft in the past, or domestic violence. So I know those are the top 3 that I know we don't work with. I think 1 DUI is fine as long as as long as they clear the background check. I think it goes 10 years back. And once it's cleared, then we're able to place them. But everything else, as long as they clear the background check and they disclose it to us at the beginning process, they just have to wait until the background check clears before we're able to place them. And again, we also call references if they've been doing really well recently, and there's certain steps that have been taken. We definitely try to help them as much as possible. But that's the time when they do disclose something at the intake process. They just have to wait about 10 days to get cleared through our legal department. Yeah.
So in terms of the background, I have another question for that one. I had worked with a veteran in the past where the agency didn't do a background investigation, and then probably really hard to hear me. I had worked with a veteran in the past where the staffing agency didn't do a background investigation because of the industry didn't require for it. But then when the employer decided to employ the veteran full time, then they ended up doing a background investigation, found that veteran was disqualified. So what advice would you give in that type of situation? Not so much in terms of avoiding that situation, but like if they were to run into that.
Of course. And great question. Typically with our intake process, every candidate will have a video interview with one of our recruiters. After the interview and after we know exactly what the candidate wants, then at that point we send e-documents to the candidate, which is like an application process. In that application process, there is a question towards the end of everything. It says if you've ever been convicted of a felony, right? So at that point, just being truthful. If that answer is yes, just giving a quick explanation of what happened, and then we run a background check. So unless that is disclosed at the beginning, that's when that issue might come up. So a lot of candidates, even if it's been more than 10 years, because I think it gives you the time frame of 10 years, even if it's been more than that, they still disclose it just to avoid that situation. So I would definitely encourage that, right? If it's something that's in the candidate's record, I would just disclose it just to be on the safe side, and then we'll do the background check. So once the background check is cleared, then we can provide that to the client when it's time to be converted into a permanent employee.
Awesome, thank you. And so I have another question from the chat box. I'm just going to read it verbatim.
Sure.
You said you are with Office Team. Do you handle industrial, manufacturing, industrial jobs too? I'm interested in knowing about jobs from Redwood City to San Jose.
Yes, we do have positions. With Office Team, it's mostly back office administrative positions. From time to time, we do get jobs that are more in the manufacturing side, industrial, warehouse, and we do have job opportunities within that, logistics, purchasing, all of that. The only thing we don't, because we do offer workers' compensation to our candidates, as well as unemployment benefits and everything, we just want to make sure that candidates are staying safe. So we don't do anything that has to do with forklift. And if it's more than 25 pounds, we have certain things that we talk to our clients about so that we are keeping our candidates safe. Once a candidate is converted into a permanent employee, then they can do the forklift, the heavy lifting if it's involved, or operate any machinery. But as a temporary employee, we try to focus more on office jobs. But again, from time to time, we do have those warehouse type of positions or manufacturing. And then for Redwood City, our San Mateo office covers Redwood City. And then anything Palo Alto and South, they can just send their information to me, their resume, and then I can keep them in mind for those opportunities. And I know Fremont, our Fremont office has most of those opportunities, the manufacturing. So again, it just depends on what's hotter in what market. I would say in Palo Alto, there's mostly education, healthcare, medical type of job opportunities, as well as tech. And then our San Jose office has more of the construction, manufacturing type of positions, as well as Fremont. So it just depends on the area.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa, for your answer. I actually have a question for you. You mentioned laptops. As far as laptops that you guys provide to people who I'm assuming are getting hired on to perform a job, right, with one of the businesses that you're working with, how does that work? So you guys provide the laptop to the employee, and let's say they get hired on permanently with the company, would that then be returned to you all, and then the company provides a laptop, or how does that work?
Yeah, exactly. So the laptops, they're loaner laptops for candidates for the duration of the assignment. So if the assignment is only for a month, then after the month, we would send you a shipping label just to send the computer back, and you don't have to even pay for the postage. It's just keeping the box, and then it's just very easy to send it back to our main office. Because we're closed right now, I think the only ones doing that right now is our headquarters. So that everything is being done through them. And again, if the company hires that candidate, then yeah, the computer would just go back to the original address that was sent from.
Got it. Thank you for that. That's awesome that you guys offer that.
Yeah, of course.
Do we have any other questions? No. Okay.
I'm going to say, what's the best way to get them all hooked up to you guys right now?
I'm sorry, say that again, John?
What's the best way to get everybody hooked up with you right now?
Yeah, so I can type up an email with all of the links to all of the resources that we offer. I'll include some resume tips, some interviewing tips, the job search function through our website, all of the jobs available. So I'll compose an email. I can send it to Neoni and Emilia, and then just have maybe share that with all the participants. We can do it that way. And then if just anyone who's available or looking for either a new job, a career change, just anything like that, I would just let me know, where they met me, because we do different webinars, but just let me know where we met, your pay expectation, commute. That way I can reroute the candidates to the right location, and as well as a copy of your resume.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully we get a lot of resumes coming in, and get started.
Definitely. We have a big meeting with the county today, so I'll be able to bring this up to them also. So
perfect.
For your information.
That sounds great.
I don't know if you guys see in the chat, but we're getting, this has been very helpful, and thank you so much. And great information, Vanessa. Thank you for being here with us today to share it with us. It's awesome.
You're welcome. It's great to be here. And again, just any questions, even if you're not ready now, but someone who might be looking for work or might be struggling, anything like that. We do get a lot of our candidates as well through referrals. And typically the way that works is, let's say one of you guys is already registered with Robert Half, you did a short-term assignment, and then you have maybe a family member, someone within your similar skill set that might be looking for work. We do offer referral bonuses as well. So for every candidate that you refer and we do place that candidate, there's a $50 referral bonus. So at one point, I think I had a candidate that's all she did. She would make good money every month just sending us referrals. So, I mean, if you personally don't need a job right now, but know someone who does, definitely still refer them over. And as long as they just mention who referred them, and we can send you a bonus.
I see a light bulb there, John.
Yeah, they're all welcome. So feel free to reach out. Any questions, any concerns, anything that comes up, I'll be available to all of you guys.
Okay, well, awesome. It looks like we don't have any other questions coming up. Neoni, did you have anything else that you wanted to share before we complete this? It looks like we still have 10 minutes left, but we don't have any questions.
Yes, so at the end of this, as soon as I get the email from Vanessa, I will go ahead and include everybody as a recipient, and I will send that over to you. For those that weren't able to attend this webinar today, there will also be a link for the recorded session for this, so that way you can refer it back to them. Other than that, I don't have any additional questions. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for taking the time and doing this with us. appreciate you. I've also did a referral to another VA department who will most likely be contacting you as well.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Amelia.
Thank you for having me. It's nice meeting you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, Vanessa. You too.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.